Hey everybody, welcome back to NSB Custom Cars. Another week's come and gone. Here it is Friday evening after work. And we got a little project to do on the old Dart. Planning on tomorrow, hopefully maybe taking it to the strip. So we got a few things I need to do to it. So let me show you what we got going on. It's not a whole lot that we're doing to it. But if you notice inside the car, there's a little difference. Yeah, I know that most drag cars don't have a passenger seat. But this one's kind of a, we like to think, a street and strip car, so it needs a passenger seat. And that's what I'm installing. This car's just set in there. It's not down. I took the liberty cutting a little bit out of the floorboard. You can see down here, and I've got two brackets I've got in place. So I got to weld them in. I took the tunnel out. And, you know, I was going to move some of my electrics around, but the way everything's falling, your feet's going to be in between. All the thing I'm going to move is our MSD launch control box. Tells you the RPMs right here. Actually, this box right here, I'm going to move it that way you can have a spot for a passenger's feet. And that's the only thing I got to move. Everything else should be out of the way. You just have to watch where you put your feet at when you get in. But so let's get busy and tear this car, the seat back out, and get some welding done. The seat just comes by itself, and you got to put these brackets on. So I kind of looked at the other seat that I put in, and I put these back in the same position as those. I want both seats to be symmetrical. Even though the tunnel of the car is more to the passenger side a little bit, because you know every transmission and every rear end's always offset to the passenger side a little bit. So this seat's a little tighter in there than the other one, but it's fitting pretty good. So as you can see, I got the seat out, and I just got these two brackets in here. I've got them positioned where I need them to weld them into spot, which is the frame rail down there, and then the side tube, and then the inner tube. As you can see, I had to put a dent in my center console that runs through the center of the tub, the tunnel, and kind of makes it look like crap. But when the seat's in there, you're not going to see none of that, so it'll hide all that. Next first thing I do, I got to lift this up, and the two aluminum fuel lines, the return line and the fuel line, I'm going to have to unbolt from the frame and move them out of the way, because I don't want to get into them with my weld for sure. So let me raise this car up. Welding machine, I use the Lincoln 180 dual. The dual means it'll run on 110 or 220. 220 does give you a lot hotter fire on it, but it's been a good little welder. And when I'm going to be welding, I'm going to be up here in these higher numbers. So I got my brackets welded in, and I just got finished drilling my 4 holes for my seat. So now I got to come back in here and put my panel in here, and get it all back down. I'm gonna get my lines tied back up first, and then we'll get our aluminum put in. We'll have this wrapped up. This is the plate that I cut out, so it'll go right back in for the floor. But I just got to cut it to fit in here. So I got my 2 seat brackets in, all my aluminum back in. So all I got to do is put the seat in and bolt it in. Alright, so now I've got the seat in. I got the bolts put in. It's in there nice and tight. I've got one more piece I got to put on. It's called your back seat bracket, which it comes on the back side. It's got 2 tabs here that weld to the back bar. So right now I got to drill 2 holes in my seat. I pretty much know where they need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and position this where I know it's going. And I'm going to use it to mark my holes and drill them. So let's drill it. And it's the hard part, hard to hold it. So now that I got this bracket in, all we got to do now is I'm going to come in here with my welder and tack this a couple spots, and I got to do it on the other side, tack it. Then we'll have to remove the seat. I'll get them all welded, and then when the seat goes back in, it's in for good. So as you can see inside the car, we got twin seats, driver and passenger. Got our seat belts put in. We've got plenty of room to put your feet. I'm going to move this one coil of wire back up toward under the seat, so you got all that room to put your feet here in the floorboard. I don't know if I'm going to leave it like that, but I do have to mount that red long box. I'm going to mount it up. And over by the gas pedal, them wires going across the tunnel, that's our launch control on our RPMs. Going to mount it up on the dash. Other than that, we got everything ready. Twin seats, so we can maybe do a drag week or a sick week. Give some expedition rides maybe. So now that I got both seats put in, there was one thing I had to do that I didn't show y'all on video, but I'm going to show you what I had to do. Up top here, I got my crossbar. This is all of our switches that run the car and start it. And this crossbar comes all the way across, hooks into the front bar, and goes all the way across to the back passenger side. And this is a bar I had to put in later on after I had the cage in. And once I welded, I got it all welded in, we got the filling, and right up on the very top, I had a little hole that I couldn't get to with the weld, or either forgot to get it all the way there and on top over there. So I had to get my mirror out, and I put it up there and I welded. Now this is really close to the roof, so the roof is, you know, that weld gets super hot, and I didn't want to burn the paint up on top of the car. So when I welded the bar on the inside, it's going to get hot up here. So this is what I want y'all to see. This is some very good stuff. It's Kimball Midwest, and it's called Therma-Shield Heat Protection Gel. Comes in a spray bottle. Pretty much all I had to do with this was I sprayed inside the roof up on top. And then I did my weld. So I'm going to demonstrate how good this stuff is. So let me get my camera back on the stand here and we'll get set up where I can show you. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate. This is pretty much just a styrofoam cup from the restaurant. I got me a little butane torch. And to show you, it's going to melt styrofoam, catch it on fire quite quick. Right now I've got some water in my cup. So I'm going to go on one side right here. And you can see water's already peeing through it. So now I'm going to turn it to the other side here, get rid of that water. Get our spray here. And here's the Kimball spray. Now we're going to spray the bottom of the
cup.
Yeah, spray that bottom of that cup. Spray on the side here, all the way around the bottom. Come over here and spray too. Here, let's get this side. So now we sprayed that. So if I was welding, now I'm on this styrofoam cup for a long time here. This is styrofoam. As you can see, I ain't got no water coming out of it. Look how long it took. So if I was in there welding on that car, that will protect your paint from getting too hot or anything. You spray this stuff on her and it dries, it wipes right off. I'm pretty sure this is probably the same stuff. You guys see these guys getting these flame suits. They put gel all over their body and then they put the flame suit on. They set themselves on fire. It's probably what this stuff is. But it's worth buying. It wasn't that expensive. I forget what we paid for it. Actually, my cousin gave it to us, but he said it wasn't really high. So, once again, look it up, Kimball, and you got the stuff. Really worth buying. So, the seat's finished. Pretty much done with this car. Other than do a couple little remounts, and I'll pull it back out. I got to get my Super B to get back in here. And I did get my map sensor. We're going to put that back on. That'll probably be on our next video. So, that's going to be all for this one. Appreciate all the views. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to like us. Until next time.